Good morning, Israel, Ishmael, and to all our supporters. Even good morning to you, Pale Skin. Um, to the whole world, the people of the world, even the mankind. Good morning. Even to the corrupt DNA and the corrupt bodies of embodied men. Good morning. It came to my spirit this morning as I woke up real early as usual, and I'm going through this change and stuff like that. Oh, sorry. This is Omar Hosea, servant. Shalom. Heavenly Father, we humbly ask for the wisdom and the knowledge to speak. We ask for permission to speak to thy creation and to thy children. We ask that you would grant us the wisdom and the knowledge to expound on that which you would have us to express, my Lord. Father Yah, we ask that you would guide my tongue and help us to come to a rationalization of that which is happening to us and your plans, and how do we get in harmony and tune to that which you have already had desired to see done. For thy will is the best will. And we humbly ask and pray in the name of Emmanuel and the prophets before me and after me, and by the power of the Holy Spirit, I humbly ask and pray. Selah. It's funny how religion and societies, corporations, cities, states, communities, tribes, all these things, where they come from. And when you read all the literature of every human who ever wrote something, whether it's in pictures called hieroglyphs, whether there was notches, whether it was number sequences as a language, all these languages, you have to ask yourself, what's up with the division? What's up with the pride and the ego that says that I'm special and you're not? They're this and I'm not. Where does this competition or racism come from? But that's the true essence of racism when you look at the word race and you add ism to it. Race by itself is wonderful. I'm gonna race up the street. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to be in competition. But in a hurry to go do something, I'm racing to go do something. And so when you put racism or ism at the end of race, and you say, oh, okay, somebody changed the harmony in race to a disharmony in racism and making it hate. Same thing with racists. If we really look at the language and the context of which you put words into, you say I'm a racist, means you're always in a hurry to go nowhere fast. You heard that before, right? So it leads me to this mind state, and somewhere where it's really obvious all over the planet, in TV, in your home, in your church, in your temple, in your schools, in the bed, at work, when you're out partying, even when you're by yourself, when you're with your kids, with your dog, when you're shopping, when you're on the toilet, when you're in the shower. It's like right there, and you can't see it because it happened to me till just now. As I was looking up in meditation and drawn into a trance and seeing that there was lower clouds going across, but there was an upper atmosphere that just was set in its place. So back to this division thing. And so when you read the scriptures and all this, and you talk to people from us when we was children, now our parents taught us this, and our parents' taught us this, and our ancestors taught us that, and their ancient ancestors taught them that about dualism, and that God and devil was fighting. The devil was fighting God. Satan was fighting this, or somebody was fighting that. The moon is fighting with the sun. Day is fighting with the night. It's a lie. Nobody's fighting anything. Nothing is fighting nothing. Harmony is not fighting with disharmony. Yin is not fighting with yang. It's a lie. It's a delusion to keep you and me and us separated. That's why I got the V for victory. Separated. And the symbol for that separation is called a forked tongue. And the snake, the tongue of a snake. So they demonized the serpent because of its split tongue. But it came from one tongue and then it split at the end. But that's for him to feel around. You know, you got one side to feel, one side to feel, and from those sensors they come down to one tongue. You know, it's crazy how the human person, once you drop something in its head like a piece of dirt to water, thinking that it's pure, but still, if you drop one little grain of dirt in pure water, it's still dirty. It may look clean, may feel clean, but that one drop is still dirty. So that one drop of a lie in the mind is still a lie, even though it's truthful. Unless you're knowing that there's a drop of a lie in it, but it still works. You know, to each his own on that one. That's a different analyzation in itself. But there is no war between the New Testament and the Old Testament. There is no war in the surahs of the Torah. There is no war in the Gita, holy Bhagavad Gita, Gita text. I'm sorry about that. I'm just fresh waking up, and this is fresh on my medulla. There is no war in Egypt. There is no war. You human beings have created division, and something greater than all of us as humans implanted that in our heads. Because you wasn't born with the knowledge of good and evil. Even as a baby, you don't know what it is. Even as a baby, you don't know what's right or wrong until mommy tell you don't touch her jewelry. When daddy say don't touch his keys, or when dad or your parents say when you was a baby, or would you tell your baby, honey, don't play in the dog food. If y'all get that. So let's look at the first human being. We're not gonna get into this male and female dualistic stuff. The first human being was one with all things, with himself, his creator, nature. With creation, things that were created. He was one with all things, but there had to be something else that split his head in two. Boom, boom. He split his thoughts when you got conscious and subconscious. When conscious and subconscious was one. Now get this. How did the consciousness of all things become split to now we think that everybody and everything in every place has two, when they're really one and the same? They have different functions. Like my hands. Same hand, different sizes, but it still come to one body. So we just say to you people, and to you humanoids, and you mankind, and to humanity, and to you religious folks, stop dividing the word of the Most High. If you really look at the scriptures, and you really look at what's happening, when you really look at all of this, the distraction is in dualism. The distraction is in duality. And that's painful when you can see and look down from a creator's point of view and see something that you did not create divide up that which is beautiful. Because remember, it was written when the Most High got done observing his creation, he said it was all good. We were made of all the chemicals on this planet, whether it's toxic or intoxic. We were made up of all the things in the outer space. Whether you can breathe or you can't breathe, whether it has all these dimensions and bright lights. Everything is right here in us. But something in the mind of a man or a humanity decided that he wanted to split the atom. And people would say, well, that was Lucifer who fell from the heavens, who wanted to war against God. But when you really look at it, he knows he can't war against something that got created him. It's not going to happen. Like they say, Tower of Babel was built to war against God. That doesn't seem right. As I'm looking at some other research, it does make sense to want to create a porthole and return to where you came from. That makes sense. But because of the division and the desire to be divided, you can't get back, because the Most High's kingdom is one. And so if you're anything more than the one, and if you want something outside of the one, then you can't become part of the one. You become a part of the many, and for that, you'll have a different place. I'm sure on this. I'm very sure on this. And when you look at what happened with all the prophets did and all the messengers all over the planet, you know, they came to tell us about unity, not duality. Think about that. So if there's any real disagreement, the power behind unity and the power behind duality are forces that may sound contradictory, but unity and duality will be the forces that causes the separation here on earth. Not the creator of unity, not the creator of duality, but the test. One test is unity, the other test is duality. And so now we get a spirit called Trinity. And then I guess 1,000 years from now you'll have quad something. Then you'll have another one, sin something, C-I-N as in 5. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. Because that's, those are Spanish. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve. See what I'm saying? And so, I'm running out of time. But tell me if this makes sense, and if so, let me know. Share it. And if it don't make sense, we'll keep our mouth shut. Peace.